Hello everyone, this is Niladri, and today we will talk about how we can configure or structure Jira to use as a CRM. Before we start, I'll talk about the background why I came up into this kind of configuration. I was using a couple of other CRMs, and because of their costing and pricing, I was trying to find out a cost effective way where we can do the basic necessity of manage all our leads and track them how we are progressing. So let's start with a quick view of Jira, and then I will explain what are the key areas that you may want to configure within your Jira. All right. So let me bring up the Jira screen. Just give me 1 second. So as you can see, this is where we are having a Kanban board and all our leads are coming up right over here. So this is all our leads, those will be coming up, and we will talk about what are the key areas that we are using, what plugins we are using, so that we will be able to configure that. To understand that, we are using a few external tools as well, and we'll also talk about the pricing, that how much costing you may have to configure something like that. So let me show you the key areas that what we are using. As of now, we are running different ads on LinkedIn or Google ads or Facebook ads, and few forms that we are having in our web portals, different web portals. We are using a third-party tools that's called Pabbly. You might have heard about it. It's kind of Zapier if you have already heard about. This actually take the inputs from the data from different platforms, and then it sends to our Jira. I'll show you how we have configured Pabbly as well. So what exactly happened is, within Jira, we are using two plugins. As you can see in this screen, we have one is called Field Extractor. Why I'm using that? Because Pabbly is not able to send data to the custom fields in Jira. So I am sending all those name, phone number, email IDs, everything to Jira as a description, and then this plugin is triggering and then moving it to the different fields. And I'm using one plugin that's called Chart Generator. We'll talk about the costing of these plugins as well at the end, which is creating some kind of analytical data for us within Jira. Now in Jira, we have created certain issue types. We have created some custom fields. We have created a workflows. We have created some screens, and we are using Jira automations to populate all those data. That is what we will be talking about. So let's first try to see what exactly Pabbly doing, and then we will come into Jira and see what are the structures that we have done. So first, let me take you to the Pabbly screen. So as you can see, this is the Pabbly. This is a very simple tools, and it also have a free options where you can do 100 automations or 100 transactions every month. I am using, there was a deal where I got it, I think $250 for lifetime, and where you can do 3000 transactions per month. For my need, that number is pretty good for me. If you think that you need little more number, you can go for a higher levels of planning. So over here, as you can see, I'll just take one of the example. These are all those automation. For example, this is the automations that I have done, Facebook SSM lead to Jira, or Facebook. These are the different trainings that primarily I conduct. So I'll just quickly look into one of that website inquiry, and what exactly I am doing over here is, Pabbly triggers any changes on those platforms that I have talked about, whether new leads came into Facebook or your Google ads, or someone submit a form. Pabbly automatically triggers through its webhooks. So this is a webhook URL that I have given, and based on that, I have some response received. And then whatever the response that I have received, this is the testing data that I have, and then I will be sending it back to Jira. So this is the action. So once I have the trigger, I'll capture that, and then I'll be sending it to Jira over here. So in Jira, what I am doing, I am actually checking that what is the source, and based on some logics, I am sending it to different, because there are some emails also we are triggering. So if I look into that, what exactly I have done over here, I am sending action from India based websites, and this is, I'm checking that if it is coming from these websites, you will update these data. So over here, I am just sending these descriptions to Jira: full name, country, contacts, email, source, and everything that I am creating over here. I'll show you one example as well, how it's coming into Jira. And then these are all the informations, it's sending it to Jira. Now I'll go back to Jira to see what exactly happening. Okay, so let me first create one data. I will go into an incognito window, and over there I will just open the page of my one of the product in my websites. There will be some form where I will be capturing the data, and we'll see how exactly that's happened. So there is an inquiry form I have. So I'm just giving a name, for example, any name. I'll give, let's say this is, I'm giving Niladri Mahapatra, and I'm giving my email ID and phone number. I will be giving 91. It is 00112559 and some test messages. All right. So once I'll click on submit, this data is now submitted from our the SEO submission as successful. Great. So also I have received an email through that automations through Jira as well. And I'll quickly check what happened in Jira. I'll come back to Jira and see in my backlog, is there a new leads came up. So I can see this is CRM 388 Niladri Mahapatra. This is came up over here. And if I quickly look into this, I'll be able to see, okay, these are the descriptions I have. But if I look into the candidate details, I can see, okay, this is the full name. This is done by the field extractor. Right? These are the custom fields that I have created. I'll walk you through about those custom fields and the workflows. And whenever we are closing some information, so we are also have the option that if it is lost, what are the lost reasons? You can define some custom fields, or what is the deal value that you can payment, if they have made a payment, how they have paid it, or order any invoice number if you have, and some closer notes. And if they have made a payment, this payment date, we are actually using another automations for analytical data for our all agents. If we wants to calculate that who have closed how many amount of leads. So this is, they are updating it over here. Once it is done, it will not be editable. And then we will be looking into that. So let's quickly look into how the workflow is designed and what is this backlog and acknowledge is doing, what exactly our plan is. So if I go back to our project settings from here, I will be easily able to move it to our workflow. So if I look into this workflow, this is what I have customized, and I'll explain why I have customized. You can customize your workflow based on your specific need. So this is one workflow that I have designed. If I look into the diagram, this is the workflow that I have created. So anything will be coming up that is in funnel, and everything that is coming into the funnel, I'm showing it in my backlog. Then rest of everything will be going into acknowledge. From acknowledge, if they called and they don't pick, they will put it into do not pick, or awaiting response, or in discussions. So this is a workflow that I think that fits for my need. If you think that your workflow will be go a little differently, you can design that workflow accordingly. Now, if I look into the fields, what I am using, if I go into our field configurations, okay, so if I go into these fields, what are the custom fields? These are all the fields that are used. But if you see this candidate and blocked reasons, or candidate country, candidate email, these are the custom fields that I have created. Now, I'll quickly talk about what you can create any information that you want to capture and any types that you think. And I have created multiple different issue types because we have defined that if it is coming from email or Facebook or forms or if I have Google Leads, where exactly it coming from based on the different issue types we have created, and we change their logos over here as well. Now this in the screen sections, if I look into the screens, what I have done, I have created all those custom fields that I have. I'll just open that screen. You can see what are the different fields that we have used in different sections. So these are the custom fields I have placed in the candidate details: candidate full name, candidate country, candidate number, candidate email, lead value, and all those. And if there is some closer information, the lost reason, deal value. So lost reason is a list of items as a drop down they can select, or they can you can add any item. So that will be useful for analytical data if you want to, and if you have payment details. So this is the key custom fields that we have used. Now if I go back, what we have used over here, we have custom fields, workflows, and the screens, and these issue types that we have used. I show you what are the custom fields that we are using for different sorry, not here, for the fields. If you go into that, these are all the issue types that we are using right now: email, leads. And so that's a very easy structure. What happened is, now once it comes to Pabbly send it to Jira, then field extractor extract the data from over here. So what how field extractor works, I will go into your apps and quickly look into what exactly that's doing, the field extractor. So the field extractor is over here, where I have configured something like this. Whatever is coming into your description, all those plugins as of now is free for me, because it's free up to 10 user, and I'm good with this 10 user. So now if I look into this India websites, I have done something like this. If I click on edit, it says, okay, if the rule, this is the rule name, and it will read the description moment a issue is created. So I said, when the issue created, read that, and then it's look for the custom field is candidate custom fields, right? And it will be taking these patterns, full name is equal to value. Now if I look into Jira over here, what I have given is full name equal to. So it is taking that whatever is written in the same line. So when you are sending, you send it in separate line, and you can give, okay, full name is equal to, over here Jira will be counting it as whatever the value is coming up, it will be sending it to this value. So full name I can give you, you can give it in a curly bracket as the value, and the value will be coming over here. That's one of the settings, and you can do it for every issue types. So you can define what are the issue types that you are using, and based on that issue types you need to configure if you are sending it in a different way. I'll cancel that, I don't want to save it now. Now this is one plugin, and then there is another plugin that if I go into manage your apps, yeah, so this is I came into manage my apps, what are the plugins that I am using, and this is a reports, charts and graphs for Jira. So these reports and graph and charts that you can use it within your dashboards. I'll quickly show you the CRM dashboard, and in the CRM dashboards you can add that as a gadget. So these are the different gadgets that we have created. Some of you can create a calendar kind of thing. If you have talked with a leads and lead says, okay, call me on these dates. So I have this calendar that who says, okay, call me on that dates. And if you click on that, it will take you to that particular leads, and you can find out, okay, what discussion needs to happen. I'll show you in the Kanban board as well. And this is talks about a quick graph. And you can have as many as graphs that you want within your gadgets to find out. And based on the custom fields, you can define. If I go into edit any one of them. So let me quickly edit this. And configure. It says, okay, this is the gadgets that I am using. And the project source I have selected is, this is the project name, what kind of chart I need and what values you will be using. and this is the x-axis and y-axis that you can define. This plugin is absolutely free up to 10 users, and after that it's also very reasonable, kind of $1 per users. So if you have a huge number of leads coming up, you may go for a paid plan. As of now, the number of leads is not that high, so I will be able to accommodate with 10 agents or less than 10 agents, so you can use that. So this is where you will be configuring one of the area. Now we'll be there are two plugins that we have talked about: field extractor, which is extracting the field, and whenever, so for example, that whenever a lead is closed, some dates they are adding, but this converting from December 2023, I am using automations to add a value to a field where I'm removing the dates, I'm just having the month and year. So if I look into that, how I will be working on that, though these data are dummy data, I have created it for the demonstration purpose only, but you may have a different data and different ways you will be able to see that. So I'll be quickly going to our automations. So I'll go back to my projects, and in my project settings, I'll be going to automations. There are one automations that I have created. There are two automations I have created, and I'll talk about why I have disabled the other one. So if I look into these automations, let me click on that, automations. All right, so these are the two automations. I have disabled one, lead creation email notification, because earlier I was sending an email notifications. But as this is a Jira's free plan, Jira automations have a limitations of number of automations execution. That's 100 in a free editions. And if you go into a paid versions, it may go for 1700, I think, for paid versions, and some more numbers you may go based on you increase. This update payment method, I'll just quickly show you how this automation works. So over here, when a value change for a payment date, I says, okay, edit issue field. So over here, what I am doing, there is a formula that you can create. So it will be changing the issue field with that format. And in the same way, you can create any numbers of any different types of automations that you think will be useful for your data. You will be useful for your analytics. This is the automations, and Jira automations is very powerful. You can use any kind of automations there. Now, some things that can also be done at a post functions in your workflow. If you know about how workflow is configured in Jira, you can do a post functions in Jira workflow where you can configure that, and you can save some numbers in automations. Let me quickly come into our projects and the Kanban board, how exactly that's happened. So if I go back to our CRM, so this is a dummy data that we already have created to showcase how exactly it's coming up. If I open any of them and go to the workflow, I'll explain one important area. So over here, anything coming into the backlog or just created, that's funnel, and it shows in the backlog. Once team acknowledge, it will be start appearing and goes into this Kanban board that we have configured. So if I quickly close this and come back to our Kanban board, the first column is acknowledged, then we have do not baked and awaiting responses. And over here also you can create some, for example, something I am moving it to lost, or something I am moving it to deal. I will be able to move it with a pop-up for those fields that I'm talking about. So for example, if I'm moving something to here, so it's will be asking, okay, what is the lost reason? You are putting into lost, what is the lost reason? So I'll cancel it. So it will not be something that you need to open the screen and update it. It will be coming up in between. Now there is certain areas you can define the quick filters, the amount of filter. For example, I want to see, this is the custom filters that I have created. I'll show you where you can create all those custom filters. So long times, no updates. right? So these are all the items I can see. This is what the long terms, 25 days we have not talked about, or these are 25 days we have not talked about. This is again 22 days we have not talked about. So you can define any criteria that you want to filter. This is the board that I says, okay, when it was created, when it was last updated, and it came from this icon it shows it's came from, because this is the icon of the issue types it's coming from, and who is actually working on that, their name will be coming up. Now there is also insights. If you click on that insight, it talks about, this is a new features that comes with Jira. Today is January 2024. Maybe if you are watching this video later on period of time, Jira may come up with some additional features as well. Now over here, it talks about all those different areas which were not addressed for a long period of time, quick highlights that you need to give a immediate attention to that. Now, if I want to look into what exactly the structures of the boards that I have created, this is where I have created this board structure. I'll quickly show you. So these are the columns that I have defined, and the funnel I have created in the Kanban backlog, and rest everything I have created the status mapping along with that. So if you are already aware of Jira administrations and the workflows, you know this workflow status needs to be aligned with the columns of your Jira. And the swim lanes, I have created different swim lanes based on the queries. Quick filter, this is where you will be creating all those filters that you want to add as top of your Kanban board. And you can define some card colors that, okay, if it is a B2B, then I will be showing it in red color, or if card layouts, I want to show this information. This is all you can configure in your Jira. So pretty much this is doing my need. Many company or many teams, they think, okay, I want to do a phone call from my CRM. That is not there as of now. Many CRM, they follows round robin to assign the leads to different agents. It's not easy. Through automation it's possible. I don't need it because we have the understanding with the agent, so we are able to manage it. If you want to do that, you can do it through automations. And quickly we'll talk about, if you want to do that, few areas that we will be looking into the pricing model, the cost and limitations. We have something. So if you talk about the Pabbly, they have for a zero free pricing, Pabbly have a limitation of 100 transactions, Jira have 100 automations and 10 users. So that is free editions. The automations that we are using, emails, sending through automations, now we have changed it, and what we have done, we have said, okay, send it through notifications. So what we have done, that we have created a Outlook group email ID, and whenever something comes up, Jira's notifications, we have identified any new stories or any new issues comes, it will be sending you the notifications to that. Now field extractor, this is a plugin. This is 0 for 10 user, and chart generations, this is 10 users. So the limitations is 100 automations is there. Now if you go into the next level, there was a deal when we got it in 250 USD lifetime. You don't need to pay every month, and it allows 3000 transactions. I think you can still try to find out similar kind of deal. It's not necessary you'll have to use Pabbly. You can use Zapier or any other automations that you think will be helpful. And if you have some developers, they can also use Jira's REST API to send them, and all those your forms and other advertisement, they have their webhooks that you can trigger. Jira software, the next level is $7 per user per month. And limitations is 1700 automations. Number of users as per need, you can have it. And field extractor or chart generation, this is just $1 per user per month. Very reasonable. If you want to scale up more than 10 users, you can do that. I hope this is something, if you are looking for to create your own Jira automations, you will be able to do that. If you want to learn Jira administration or Jira operations, you can join our Jira trainings that we conduct kind of once in every 2 months or 3 months. And if you are a need that you want us to configure it for you, you can contact us on our email, that is support@agiledigest.com. I'll give all the email details over the descriptions as well. I hope this helps you understand something if you reached up to this level. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and let us know if you want any other areas to create videos. We will create that. Till that time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.